Jens Lehmann is without a doubt one of the most eccentric figures in football history. The former Arsenal goalkeeper was famous not just for his talent, but for his fiery temper and bizarre antics, strangling teammates, urinating on pitches, and even breaking into his neighbor's property with a chainsaw. From drunken arrests to Champions League heroics, this is the incredible story of Mad Jens. But before we dive into the madness, this is Football Fables, the channel where we uncover the most outrageous, inspiring, and untold stories in football. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get into it. Our story begins in 1993 in Germany, where a young Jens Lehmann was balancing life as an economics student while playing for Schalke. He was an ambitious player, but his career had a rocky start. In one infamous game against Bayer Leverkusen, Jens conceded 3 goals in just 7 minutes. His manager wasted no time subbing him off. But what happened next is classic Lehmann. Rather than sticking around to face his coach's wrath, he bolted from the stadium, borrowed cash from a fan, and hopped on a tram to get home. It wasn't the most professional response, but it perfectly summed up the chaotic personality that would define his career. Lehmann's fortunes at Schalke improved, though, and he soon became a fan favorite. One of his most iconic moments came when he scored a last-minute equalizer against Schalke's fierce rivals, Borussia Dortmund. Imagine that, a goalkeeper scoring against your biggest enemies. But in true Lehmann fashion, it didn't last. Just 2 years later, he shocked Schalke fans by joining Borussia Dortmund, the very club he'd once tormented. This move might have angered his old supporters, but at Dortmund, Jens found success, helping the team win the Bundesliga title. Along the way, though, he cemented his reputation as football's ultimate wildcard. In 2002, Lehmann made history, but not the good kind. He received his 4th Bundesliga red card, setting an unwanted record for goalkeepers. And it wasn't just any red card. Jens sprinted halfway across the pitch to strangle one of his own teammates during a heated argument. Dortmund had had enough. They fined him €10,000 and shipped him off to North London, where Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger decided to take a gamble on the unpredictable keeper. When Arsenal signed the 33-year-old Jens Lehmann for £1.5 billion in 2003, many fans were skeptical. Was it worth the risk? But Wenger saw something special in him, and it turned out to be a masterstroke. Jens played every single minute of the 2003-2004 season, helping Arsenal achieve the incredible feat of going unbeaten in the Premier League, a record that still stands today. Lehmann quickly became known for his fiery personality on the pitch, which often spilled into confrontations with opponents. In one match against Southampton, he had a running feud with striker Kevin Phillips throughout the game. When the final whistle blew, Jens couldn't resist hurling the ball into the back of Phillips' head. And then there was this infamous time-wasting tactic against Wigan. With the ball in his hands and the clock ticking, Jens pretended to trip over the advertising boards, much to the frustration of the Wigan players and fans. It was classic shithousery, and Jens seemed to revel in it. But his temper wasn't just limited to opposing players. Lehmann's fiery nature even got him into trouble with his own teammates. During one training session, Jens became so frustrated that he launched a brutal tackle on Arsenal midfielder Fabregas. Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed before things got completely out of hand. In 2006, Lehmann played a crucial role in Arsenal's fairy tale run to the Champions League final. His penalty-saving heroics in the semi-final against Villarreal made him a hero among Arsenal fans. But the final itself was a disaster. Just 18 minutes in, Lehmann charged out of his goal. Jens returned to Germany to play for Stuttgart. You might think his antics would settle down as he entered the twilight of his career, but that wasn't the case. In one match, Jens casually jumped over the advertising boards mid-game to relieve himself behind them. Only Jens could pull off something like that and get away with it. But his most outrageous moments came after retirement. Hoping for a quiet life, Jens moved to the Bavarian countryside, but his tranquility was shattered when his neighbor built a garage that blocked his view of a lake. Most people would file a complaint or have a civil discussion, but not Jens. In the dead of night, he broke into his neighbor's property, disabled their security cameras, and used a chainsaw to dismantle the garage roof. By morning, the damage was done and Jens had vanished. Naturally, the police caught up with him. He was fined 135,000 euros for the damage. But that wasn't the end of his troubles. Around the same time, CCTV footage revealed that Jens had been speeding under parking barriers at Munich airport to avoid paying the $3 fee. When the police arrived to confiscate his license, Jens insulted one officer, claiming she had a malfunction in her brain. A judge wasn't amused and ordered Jens to attend therapy for antisocial personality disorder. Predictably, that didn't go well either. Even with all this chaos, Jens couldn't resist the party atmosphere of Oktoberfest. Last year, witnesses reported him drinking steins of beer and dancing on tables. Unfortunately, Jens decided to drive home drunk and was promptly arrested, this time in full lederhosen. His license was confiscated again, but just a few days later, Jens was back at Oktoberfest. Hopefully, he took a cab this time. Think Jens is the wildest card in football? Wait until you hear about his Arsenal understudy, Graham Stack. From punching fans to crashing the team bus, Stack's antics are the stuff of legend. But that's a story for another time. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Football Fables, and hit that notification bell. We've got plenty more outrageous football stories coming your way. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.